Hi, everyone. This is Angie with Moxie and Money. Thank you for joining us for another video in the Moxie Meets series. So today, Moxie meets Tatiana Podel, CPA. Tatiana has an amazing story she's going to share with us. She is a fellow female entrepreneur and has an awesome story about leaving corporate America, which is near and dear to my heart. Is the same path I followed. So welcome, Tatiana. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your story of breaking free from corporate life and starting your own business.
Sure. So I'm Tatiana, and I've been a CPA in Florida for 12, 13 years, I think since 2012. So it's been a while. And I spent most of my career at a big global accounting firm doing taxes for Fortune 1000s and very large privately held companies. And I think, like a lot of other people during COVID, I had a what am I doing moment. My daughter turned 1 during COVID. My son was about to start kindergarten. And I was, in my head, I was like, what am I doing? Giving so much of myself to this job that I don't even know where it's going to lead. I should be, focusing more on the kids, have more flexibility. And I took the plunge and left and started working with small businesses through my own firm. And it just, from there, it kind of evolved. And I mostly work with women entrepreneurs. I don't exclusively work with women entrepreneurs, but it's just, we connect. It's fun to work together. We have a lot in common. Our kids tend to be the same age. We're going through the same struggles. So it becomes a true relationship. And I'm not just a CPA that puts numbers on their form once a year. I'm their true advisor and partner that they trust. So it's
yeah, it's so important too, right? It's so a couple things to pull from that is when women get together, and especially female entrepreneurs, when we get together, something magical happens. It's something magical and powerful. And you talked about partnering with female entrepreneurs and the clients that you work with. And, we talk a lot about that in Moxie and Money. It's all around relationships. And it's not like coming to an event or connecting online or whatever it is. And, hi, I'm Angie. I'm the owner and founder of Moxie and Money. And no one remembers that. It's building a true relationship and sharing part of your story and your life with people. And that's how you really connect and leveraging relationships. And sometimes people are afraid to say that because they feel like it's using someone. It's not using someone. You're leveraging someone's relationship, you're leveraging someone's expertise, their knowledge, because you can't know everything. So It building your team and your tribe and all things with the right people surrounding you. And that is intentionally choosing who you're spending your time with and who you're working with, both professionally and personally.
So. To add to that, it's when people, and I lost my train of thought. Look at that. So when I was going to add to that, I was going to add to that and say that you started your business, like everybody started their own business because they were really good and passionate about something, and you can't wear every single hat in your business. You can't be where you're good at what you're good at and focus on that, but then also be the bookkeeper, also be the IT person, also be the marketing person. You need to be focusing on your business and what you're good at, and then build a team around you that can support you in the things that are of zero interest or that are not going to add to what you started your business for, right? So those experts are going to step in and fill those roles that are important and necessary to run your business, but that you don't have to be the one doing it.
Right. So to your point, you should be doing only what you are great at, right? Your superpower, only what you're great at and only what you can do. And part of building $1 million business or whatever you want to build it to is focusing on, I like to call them IPAs because I love an IPA, but income producing activities or revenue generating activities or whatever you want to call it. Whatever is bringing in revenue in your business that only you can do is what you should be doing.
Yes.
Now, I am a firm believer that there are a ton of tax strategies that you can utilize and pull those levers to keep more money in your pocket. But you don't have to know how to do that. You could be out there, you know, whatever it is, right? Running your restaurant, selling real estate, mortgages, whatever you're doing, you can go do that and focus on what's bringing you in revenue and generating revenue for your business, and then leveraging a relationship with your external team or someone like Anna that says, hey, I've got your accounting covered.
Yep.
Like, you're good here, right?
Absolutely.
And I'll let you know as things come down the pipeline or things come out, because as we talked about a little bit before this, there's a new law in Congress, right? That may or may not be passed. It looks like it's passing from everything I've heard, but it's you know, I can't keep up with that. I'm doing, like, you don't even want to see my schedule. And so I can't keep up with that. But because it's in Tatiana's wheelhouse and what she needs to know for her clients, she knows.
Yes.
And so now I know.
Yeah, and we just sent an email to all our clients today, letting them know that it passed in the House yesterday, and we're keeping an eye on it. So yeah, it's impossible to know everything all the time, you know, and that's where you rely on experts, and finding experts that are willing to work with each other as a team to serve you too. It's so important.
Oh my gosh, that is absolutely huge. It is. It's so important, because otherwise you get information from the left side and the right side, and then you're stuck in the middle and you don't know, which way is
Yes.
or going on. So when you can get everyone on the same page or in the same room, sometimes is amazing. If you can do that, it's really powerful. And then you have people truly working together for your good.
Right.
Is
And then
awesome.
everybody's thinking through things from all the different angles, versus if you just come to me for tax, I'm gonna put my tax hat on, and that's all I'm gonna think about. And then your attorney is only putting their attorney hat on, and all they're thinking about is liability, liability, liability. But we need to make sure that what the attorney is recommending makes sense from a tax purpose, from a tax side, and vice versa, you know? And so it's so important to have your financial advisor working with your attorney, have your financial advisor working with your CPA. It is a team effort to make sure that your goals are being met.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. So talk a little bit about leaving corporate America, because I know that can be a little scary and exciting and all the things, right? And it takes a certain level of moxie, and courage to do that. So kudos to you for doing that and taking that leap, because it can be a huge leap of faith. So tell us a little bit more about, about doing that and how that came about.
Yeah, so my story is a little bit different. I was very blessed that I didn't start from zero. So when I left, I actually partnered up with a woman that was getting close to retirement, and she mentored me through a few years, and I ended up buying her book of business. And so I didn't start from zero, and I had that support system, right? But what led me there, and I know, Angie, you and I were previously talking about this a little bit, I think it's also a unique situation, and comes back to what we were saying before about leveraging relationships, and how important having a community around you is, because you never know when somebody is going to be that person that changes your life or your business. I actually went to school with this woman's daughter, and we started our careers together at the same big firm, and she left to go take over her mom's firm. And we stayed in loose touch, we talk every couple of years. And during COVID, I called her to be like, hey, if I walk away from this, what is it like on the other side? And I just truly wanted advice. And she goes, well, I'm not really working with my mom anymore. That didn't work out. And it's been years since I left, and she still needs an exit strategy. Do you want to talk to her? And that's kind of what led us there, just keeping that loose. You don't have to be like forcefully checking in with people, once a month, but we truly checked in with each other every couple of years to say, hey, how's life? And it led to a whole life-changing experience for me.
You never know, and I firmly believe people are in and out of our lives for very
Yes.
specific reasons, for a very specific period of time.
Yep.
But you could be one relationship away from XYZ, right? And something amazing if you've ever read 3 Feet from Gold, right? So you could be one relationship away. And so much of what we do and we talk about is networking and how important it is. And really, and it's not networking in the sense of coming in and saying who you are and what, what your job title is, but it's networking in a sense of building a relationship and a community and sharing part of your life and your story. You are truly connected with someone.
Yes.
And when I founded Moxie and Money, I didn't really intend on, starting it so that I had this amazing group of women that are now like my circle of freaking awesomeness. Like I just thought, I was like, listen, we don't have anything like this. I couldn't find anything like this, so I'm going to start it. But the women that show up within Moxie Monday, both online in our online community and at our events, are absolutely amazing. And people are there to build relationships, to help each other. People are referring business, people are doing business together, and it's all natural. It doesn't come from a, what can you do for me? It's a group and a community of go-givers. Yep. And that it's so important around that, and to be around women that want to help women and want to cheer each other on, which, we were talking earlier, Tatiana, like the female entrepreneur community is just outrageously spectacular at supporting each other, cheering each other on. Like we do different spotlights within Moxie and Money to say, hey, this woman's doing this awesome thing and let's cheer her on. And it's just, there's so much stuff that we are doing for each other. And even behind the scenes, whether it's a text of, hey, I'm struggling with this, can you help me? Or, hey, I see you're being really successful with this. What are you doing?
Yep.
And so we're just open books here to help each other.
Absolutely. And, a lot of it is like when I go to networking events, I'm not looking for clients. I'm looking, okay, who am I meeting that are potential good connections for me to make with other people? And so I can make them, that's like, I think that's the key to networking, is knowing to connect people. Because if you are the person that people think of when they go, wait, I need an attorney, like, who do I know that can give me a good attorney recommendation? And they're like, oh, this person can. You're always on people's minds. They feel like they can always turn to you. And it's something so simple. And it's, again, just connecting people. And when the relationships that you have, everybody in your circle probably is going to enjoy working with the same type of people that you do, So just forming that circle is so important.
Yeah. And it's providing value to people without asking for anything back. And you're right. It is. It's when you become that person, people think of you automatically.
Yep.
I did a lot of sales coaching and mentoring and in my corporate world and since. But it's becoming sticky, right? So you become stickier, is what we call it. So you become stickier, and that person remembers you, and they're stuck to you for longer, and they're stuck to you because of that in a really positive way. Yep. And yeah, it's the Go-Giver. If you haven't, here's another book. If you haven't read the Go-Giver, go read the Go-Giver. It is really impactful. And
there are so many good books. You should start a book club.
I should. I thought about doing a little video series of, this book, and here's like the summary. And I know, not a book club though, because I can't. I'm like, no. But I'll do a little summary. I'm always reading at least 3 to 4 books at once.
Yep.
It's a lot. But it is so important. And then, so reading is important, but reading goes into your mindset, and mindset is so important too with everything. And if you're leaving corporate, right, so much can go through your mind. And I'm sure it did go through your mind, right? Because you're leaving this really what is falsely perceived as stable to your own business.
Yeah. And the prestige, you also leave that prestige behind, right? Like my goal was to become partner at this big, fancy firm.
Yeah.
And when you decide to walk away, you feel like you walked away from your dreams a little bit. But I know, Angie, you're the one that told me this. You said, well, you're creating a new dream. Yeah. And it's so true.
Yeah. You're creating a new dream. And what it is it's not necessarily even a new dream. It's you're living out your dream.
Yep.
Instead of living out a dream that was given to you by society or your parents, I think very few of us, and I didn't do this, but very few of us growing up actually thought about, hey, what is my dream? Because so much of what we do is baked into us from societal expectations, from our parent expectations, right? And what do our parents expect, and all the things, and what are the norms? So it's, for me, it was go to college, get a career, climb the corporate ladder, make a lot of money. And I did all the things. And then I was like, well, I'm unfulfilled. This sucks. Like, I have no fulfillment in my career. And then enter entrepreneurship, which is a whole other crazy world in a really great way. And I would never go back. But I didn't even know it was an option. And once I got into entrepreneurship, I was like, holy cow, this is my dream. I didn't know that this was a thing. And I didn't realize I was living someone else's dream.
Yep.
Was my parents. I mean, and they're amazing parents, right? It's no fault of their own. It's just kind of, as parents, we're like, oh, you should go do this, right? Like, this sounds really amazing, without realizing, sometimes we're pushing our dreams on other people. So stop for a minute. I encourage everyone to stop for a minute and look at what you're doing, and look at your life, both personally and professionally. And is this really your dream? Because if it's not,
well, and I will say, like, the school that I went to, because I wanted to go into accounting, which I know might sound weird, but I've known I was going to go into accounting since my junior year of high school. And what success looked like coming from my professors in college was you're only a successful CPA if you're working for a Big Four accounting firm. That was it. If you do anything else, then you're not a go-getter, you're not going after success. And so it was very hard to get out of that mindset of, I can be even more successful by not sticking to that plan and, doing things my way, living my life the way I want to live it. But it's hard to get out of that mindset.
It is. And you have to use mindset to propel you to take action, to live the life you want to live. And it is, you have to unwrite so many stories that you were told. You have to unprogram your mind. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's like yoga, right? They say yoga is a practice. Well, mindset is a practice, and it's something you really have to put effort into every single day. Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time. For everyone tuning in, Tatiana is going to be on our panel for the Moxie and Money February event on February 27th. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. at Luke's in Maitland. It's Love Yourself, Love Your Money. And we are going to have an amazing conversation about you and your money, and the fact that you should love both. So we're going to have a financial planner there. Tatiana is going to be there as our CPA on the panel. And we're going to answer questions from the people that are attending, from our guests. We'll have them submit questions beforehand, so they know what we, because it's important to know, as female entrepreneurs, here are our questions, here's the information we need. We're going to get this information at the event. So please check out the Moxie and Money website, moxieandmoney.com, and look for that February event. And we hope to see you there. And thank you so much, Tatiana, for your time and energy. And we will see you in February.
Thanks, Angie. I'll look forward to meeting everybody there.
Thank you.